Alright, moving on to chapter 10. For this video, we're just going to do a very brief introduction on the square root and what a square root means. And you can see what we have here is this list. We're listing all our perfect squares. And we've done this before when we factored, and we did the factoring technique called difference of two squares. What we're going to see is a square root is the inverse or opposite operation of a perfect square. So take this down. The 1, 4, 9, 16, 25, 36, going all the way down to 12 square, which is 144. So make sure you have this down. And now what I'm going to do is just introduce square root. If I take a square root of any of these numbers, all right, let's say I take this. If I take square root of 4, what that's asking you is, it's asking you, all right, if you take the square root of 4, what number times itself gives you 4? Well, 2 does, because 2 squared, or 2 times 2 is 4, so this equals 2. If I looked at this perfect square, 9, if I took the square root of 9, again, it's asking us, what number times itself gives us this 9? Well, it's here, it's 3. 3 times 3, which is 3 squared, is 9, so that equals 3. So you kind of get the hint, you get the pattern here. When you take the square roots of perfect squares of all these numbers, I'm putting in this blue box, the answer is going to equal this base. So if I did this, if I took the square root of 36, that's asking me what number times itself gives me 36. Well, it's this, it's that base, it equals 6. Okay, so let's just use this information. Let's just do those 3 problems below where it says evaluate. And it should be pretty straightforward. In fact, all these numbers in the square root, they're all perfect squares. So if I just evaluate this, well, I know square root of 4, 2 times 2 is 4, that's just 2. Same thing here, square root of 4 is 2, so 2 times 2, when I multiply those, it gives me 4. Okay, if I move over to number 2, 9 and 4, they're on that list of perfect squares. Right, square root of 9 is 3, because 3 times 3 is 9, and square root of 4 we just did, that's 2, and then 3 times 2 is 6. And then if we move over to 3, again, square root of 4, we dealt with that the previous one. 2 times 2 is 4, so this is just 2. 16, that's on the list. 4 times 4 gives us 16, so the square root of 16 is 4. So then we just multiply them. 2 times 4 gives us 8. Alright, so this video, real short. It's just basic, kind of tying into, kind of ties the concept of perfect squares with square roots, how they're inverse operations of each other. So all those numbers on that list, if you take the square root of them, it gives you whole numbers.